Hi, good evening. Looks like I'm the last speaker. Everyone's sort of knocked out. Ms. Madan gave me a topic which said the power in you, and I am not a very stereotyped person, so I will try with my perception to reach out to you guys. Basically, I'm carrying just a couple of stories, and I hope we make a connect. I fly this one when he said I'm a pilot, but I also hail from a family of 4Gs, as we call it, right? My father was a pilot in the Air Force, and both my grandfathers were majors in the British Army, and both my great-grandfathers were fighting in the World War. One of them is buried near Paris, and the other one is on the India Gate. He's in the martyrs list. And my father flew this one. So he was flying AN-32s and IL-61s, right? Why am I talking about this? Because as children, every time there was a crash, and we understand that MiG-21s kept crashing and you keep reading about them in the newspaper, every time a MiG crashed, they would wake up every single pilot on the campus in the middle of the night at 12, at 2, and everyone would take off. Every single pilot would take off. It's something simple. I think somewhere down the line, a soda drink discovered this and said, "Dar ke aage jeete." But basically, what you discovered is that if you let your fears settle in, you are bound to then live your life forever after with those fears. So if they wake you up right then and there and put you on the aircraft, you've already transcended that fear, and you have a very different narrative to talk about the next morning, right? So you get taller every time the situation gets taller. Okay, here's a tiny question for anybody who would like to quickly participate. If you had all the money you needed, everything you wanted, what would you like to do every day when you wake up in the morning?
Surgeries. Surgeries.
Okay. 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 Great. Lovely. So, as a coach, everywhere I go, I keep hearing different things. People who want to travel, paint, sing, make documentaries. And I keep asking, why don't you? What's stopping you?
Making more money.
Time. Lack of time.
I mean, you can make money literally doing anything today, A. B, if you're already making money, regardless, or making okay money, what is still stopping you from doing what you want? I really loved what Ms. Sidhu said here. You know, she said she started doing TED Talks and she's running 2, not 1, a business and an NGO. Isn't that amazing? How many of us can claim a business and an NGO? So that was something I wanted to put on the table. And finally, I want to talk about a little story to end with. This is about a girl who was born in 1960, was perhaps 11 years old in 1971 when the Indo-Pak War was going on. And I'm sharing the story, it's not available anywhere on the net because it happens to be a family member. It got to a point where one day, as she's in the class, a boy, just like 10-year-olds here, ran in vigorously, and he had this sheaf of papers in his hand, which had, you know, those hand-sewed papers, and sheaf of them, and he tore them out, and he flung them up in the air, and he said, "We won! Hum jeet gaye!" Right? And imagine the commotion in the class, the entire chaos everywhere. All these kids, they ran around to grab a bit of that trophy, as if there was something to take home. They've won, and here's a trophy. So this girl, she says, she took off with one sheet, or a couple, quickly grabbed one, was very happy she got it, was the end of the day, put it nicely inside. Remember, the bags didn't have a lot of waterproofing back in 1970s. And then she says, I cycled down. I pedaled down back home so fast to tell my grandmother. The scene is from Jalandhar. The grandmother was a principal in a local college. And the lady goes, I literally went screaming into the yard, BG, BG, BG. And BG, who was actually lying sick, had literally, staggered herself out into the courtyard, wondering what the hell has happened. And then she said, my cycle kind of fell apart, and I ran, and I took it out of the bag, and I had the trophy in my hand. We won. Look what I've got. You know what it was, right? You've seen it, right? And then BG takes one quiet look at it, turns around, goes back inside to her room, and from her desk, she picks out the most matte finished handmade envelope, which she uses for absolutely sore people that she deals with. She pulls it out, she folds the paper neatly, tucks it in, walks into the room where she has the Guru Granth Sahib, opens a page, nicely slips it in, and closes it. And in that one moment, it defined religion, human being, and the entire life to me. We live in a world where we do not respect the power in me, and we do not respect the power in you. We live in a world where from Syria and Middle East onwards to North Korea, everything is on fire. So the power is to respect others, believe that a similar power exists in you as well. Thank you so much.